Welcome to Integrity Magazine. I am Emily Blake, one of the newest presenters to the show, and I'm so grateful to be here this evening with you. I am joined by a lady who I just find fascinating. She is a singer, a songwriter for many years, and she's an actor, and also, if I'm allowed to say, a model too. I've seen some of your photos. Now, I would love to introduce to join me today the amazing, the incredibly accomplished Fanni Compton. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, I could go on and on and on because you really have done so many things and so many different things. And I'd love it if you could just introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit more about you.
That's a loaded question right there.
Just no pressure.
Well, I think you've done the bulk of it. I'm an actress, as say, recording artist, more recently, that is. And I guess mostly, as I always say, what I'm mostly known for is sort of what I put out on social media. So a lot of sketches, skits, monologues, often bizarre things. I think that's gotten less as the years have gone on, but you know, entertainment, I'd like to think of it as. So yeah, that's what I do currently. Yeah,
you are definitely an entertainer. To me, it seems very natural, something that you have done for forever. Is that true? Have you always sort of felt like an entertainer from when you were younger?
Yes, I probably never would have called it entertainer, but yes, always sort of, you know, performing for the masses, usually just a few neighbours or whoever's about, you know, or at school, but, you know, whoever's there watching, yes, I just wanted to perform for, make them laugh, make them cry. So, yeah, and then I went to a stage school quite young, and it started there. It's never stopped. So.
Brilliant. So it was a passion that was kind of realised from a young age. Do you remember what it was that actually got you interested in that?
I don't remember one particular thing, but as I say, I was sort of in stage school quite early on. You just felt a belonging, you know. I felt that I belonged there. This was my vocation, and I have done for as long as I remember. It's what I was kind of born to do. Yeah.
I love that. And it's quite rare to really know what you want to do. And, you know, a lot of people do sort of struggle with this going through life. So it is quite rare and amazing that you had that, you know, whatever it was that sort of gave you that drive to do what you love. So was it the singing or the acting? What came first? I know it's a difficult question, this, but which one came first?
Yeah, it's a chicken or egg, that. I remember probably earliest on is writing poetry and writing songs and recording, always walking around as a child with a tape recorder. I could just, you know, carry around and recording songs off the radio and then doing harmonies. That was a big love of mine. So it was always, I suppose, yeah, always about words. First and foremost, writing things, spoken word, all of that sort of thing, and recording. I was obsessed with recording myself. I still am, actually, thinking about it. But yes, that's where it kind of, I guess, I don't know, started. I just remember that very early on, writing songs, writing poems, harmonizing, and dreaming about being on that stage and everybody listening to what I was putting out.
I can totally relate to that, Fanni. Absolutely. Me and my younger sister used to harmonise and sing all the time, and I always, as well, had that big want to be on a stage. So, tell us what you've done. Sort of, I'm looking at what you've done recently. It's all fantastic. It's so funny, the different characters that you do. But what are your favourite things that you have done? So think about your whole career. What are some of the big standout moments for you personally?
don't know if I've had enough standout moments yet to to relate to that question, but they're coming. But I certainly had favourite roles, you know, and they always lean towards the gritty, dark, raw, uncomfortable, you know, kind of characters. That they're what I favour. But I don't know. What was the question again?
So yeah, I mean, you've pretty much answered it. You said that you really like doing these gritty kind of roles. I really wanted to find out what your favourite types of pieces are to work on.
Yeah, well, I really like doing high drama, or alternatively, I like doing sort of farcical comedy or sort of Oscar Wilde type comedy. I enjoy that very much, heightened sort of stuff, either end of the spectrum. So if it's comedy, you know, I enjoy playing simpletons. Is that a word that people use anymore?
I know what you mean.
I don't really know how else to put it, but I actually daren't say anymore. But yeah, there's a simpler frame of reference, shall we say, in my life. I enjoy doing those.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, if you were to refer it to a sort of a program, maybe something like sort of Shameless, the characters in that, or maybe that caliber, heightened, yes.
Almost like the Catherine Tate sort of face bothered, that sort of thing, maybe.
Yeah, of course, exactly, yeah. As long as it's ingrained in truth, but yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So do you sort of base your characters on maybe people that you have seen then?
Yes, I can do, but more than that, usually I base it on, I'm a big observer. I love to observe. And I kind of work people out, or so I think, very quickly. Through your mannerisms, how quick your eyes flutter, all of these sorts of different things I kind of take into account. And I guess they're all a conglomeration, if you will, of all these different observances. You know, there's always a stereotype of people, isn't there, of characters? And I guess I go with that, but always, as I say, ingrained in truth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite important, isn't it? The actual, I mean, this is Integrity magazine, so I guess the integrity of that character. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's something I'm very forthright and strong about. It's never just about characterizing and just putting out a performance. And this is why I don't like the word entertainer necessarily, because I work bloody hard at my craft and at skill. This is not just about, oh, you're you know, just taking on somebody. I don't know where that came from. But yes, it's really about getting at the core of somebody, you know, truth. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I often find, you know, like you said, you don't just like to use the word entertainer because maybe the connotations that have, you know, sometimes I feel like the creative arts are overlooked, and actually the skill, the absolute skill that it takes to create characters, to act, to do all of these creative things, that's sometimes not taken into account. So I feel that I know what you mean by that. And it's, you know, for me, I'm very passionate about people, you know, not calling the course that I did at university a Mickey Mouse course, for example. You know, these are real skills and it's hard work.
Of course it is, yeah. And I think anyway, just in terms of the actual industry, I think the fact that I take on so many characters and people, it can actually somewhat be a disadvantage to you, because when you are in inverted commas an unknown, the industry needs to almost compartmentalize you and be able to put you in a box. You are a product, and when you can't be boxed, you become difficult. And I think already I've ran into that, because people want to know immediately who you are, what you do, where they can put you as something marketable. And when that can't be done immediately, if you're a known and established, that's great. It's like, wow, you know, they can do that, they can do this. It's amazing. But as an unknown, it's not actually looked on that favorably. And you'll get your social media following and you'll get your laughs. But in terms of actually getting noticed in the industry, you can actually look a bit fickle, even though you are plugging your passion into all of those. But I say, if they can't box and contain you and you're not fitting for something immediately, you can be somewhat sort of dismissed. It's too dangerous, too risky. I don't know what that is. So
yeah. It's incredible that you've said that, because I was just speaking yesterday, and it's something that's been on my mind for a long time, is the fact that myself as well, I just love to do so many things. And, you know, like you, looking at what you do, the singing and the songwriting and the acting, and you love to have the ability to do all of the things that you love and your passions. But I personally too have struggled with this, not being able to be put in a box. You know, it's, people always say, well, what are you then? Plus size model, singer, actress, presenter, what is it? And you just want to scream, well, I'm all of those things. But you're absolutely right. That is unfortunately a bit of a danger, isn't it, in this industry where everything is so cutthroat and you're in or you're out. And it's thanks for raising that point, because that actually means quite a bit to me at this moment as well. What have you done to try and
just say, once you are through that door, I think things are somewhat easier and you're more respected and acknowledged for everything you do, you know, as a whole. Yeah.
But you have to start off sort of more narrowed down, have that niche and build yourself up.
Yeah. Yes.
So tell us, you have been a busy bunny, haven't you, over lockdown? You know, you haven't just sat down and thought, oh, well, no work. You've been really at it. You've created your very own sort of TV series. I mean, it's incredible what you've accomplished. And also, Fanny, I noticed that you had a short hospital stay and you were still working.
Yeah. It's been a bad year, actually, in terms of things kicking off. But, you know, I'm banking on this year being the bad year so that it's all out of the way. So next year's going to be bloody amazing. That's what I'm banking on. But yes, I have been busy. So in December of last year, I just wrapped up filming on a television pilot, which I'm hoping to get commissioned at some point. It's still in post-production. It's been a nightmare from beginning till end, but you know, we'll get there. But so yes, I've been sort of trying to sort that out, which has taken up so very much of my time, you know, trying to get that out of post-production. And then yes, lockdown has happened. And yes, I started this Lockdown Lifeline, which is an online series. It was an experiment that I set out to do, to see if it were possible to make a television worthy program whilst all actors were in quarantine. The answer to that, looking back now, is probably not, but it was an experiment. You know, it's about trial and error. But I'm still proud of what we have achieved, and it has gotten better on each episode. And I think that's what's important with any work you do, is it improving markedly each time rather than just staying on you know. So yes, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of where we got with it. It's been extremely hard work. But yeah, I'm proud. So, and it's on the festival route now as well. So,
oh, brilliant. Well, yeah, I mean, that's, you said, you know, if things can work from home on that sort of scale, but if they're on their way to festivals, I think that's a good sign. I think that's showing that you did create something that was really worthy. How difficult has it been? Because obviously, was it last year you were sort of on set for a TV advert for I can't pronounce the name of the car brand, it starts with D.
Dacia.
That's the one. Dacia. I didn't want to get it wrong. So you were on this set, and obviously everything is you know, out of this world, isn't it, on productions like that? And then trying to film from home. What's the difference? What are the struggles, and what have you found that has helped you through it all?
Well, obviously, bear in mind, prior to that, I was a big filmer at home anyway, wasn't I, with all my sketches and everything that I do. I basically film from my bedroom 90% of what I do. Even that, I think we mentioned one of my music videos earlier. I think a lot of that was also filmed in my room, the parts that weren't outside, so much is just filmed in my bedroom. So I'm used to working from home. What I'm not used to is directing other actors and directing other actors from afar whilst they're in their home. That just becomes something I've never dealt with before. And I think most people haven't, because there was no need to start directing a sitcom whilst everyone's in quarantine. So that has been an enormous struggle. And how have I got around that? By failing and getting up and doing it again, as we do with most things in life.
I love that. Yeah, it's so important to say that, actually, because we're so scared of failure. We're so scared of getting things wrong. But this is the only way that we learn. And, if you think about episode 1 and getting all of that together to where you are now, and now what you can go forward and do even more. I bet it's such a change, isn't it?
Exactly. Again, I think I was saying to you earlier, but I failed so many times on so many things creatively. That's not me doing myself down. It's I failed, but I grew from that. And, I've done so much cringy, horrific, awful stuff at some point. But yeah, it's all just about bettering yourself gradually. Failing forward all the time.
Yeah, I love that. It kind of brings me into my next question, which was going to be about your advice to other people who want to get into the entertainment industry, to acting. So failing your way forward, I think, is a big part of it. What else would you say to someone sort of starting off, and maybe they are confined at home and they want to film some bits and bobs there? What could they do to make that a bit easier from what you've learned?
Well, in terms of my advice, I mean, what could I possibly say? I think someone far more wise and famous than me said, and I think this applies to anything that you want, is that you have to want it as much as you need the air that you breathe. And that may sound, but in an industry like this, where there are tens of thousands of people who want to do what you're doing, and what's worse is tens of thousands of people who have the talent to do what you want to do, you have to want it so much. And that is the only advice I can give. If you need it, want it so much, then you should be doing it. If there's a possibility you think, well, there's something I could fall back on, you don't want it enough. That's not to say you won't make it, because you may be stunningly handsome or beautiful, or, just have the right look and make something. But I think, for 90% of actors, it's graft, it's hustle, and the industry has changed from what it was. This is not a case of just sending a piece of paper out on your show reel on a CD and hoping for the best. You have to sort of be and do so much more now. Don't know if that's necessarily, right, as in whether we really should have to do that, but that's what the industry requires now. You need to be noticed, and for the right reasons, getting yourself out there. So yes, you have to want it, really want it. And if you want to film your own stuff, again, you just need to do it and take that leap. It is really scary when you put your stuff out, because there are going to be people out there, and I've experienced that. Oh, it's rubbish. Or you look like this. Or you should do, I've heard so much, it's unreal over the years. But you just have to be fearless and put that stuff out. But that comes back to you wanting it as much as you need to breathe, because you won't put the stuff out if you don't.
Exactly. You'll be held back by the fear, which you simply cannot have if you want it. I love your advice, Fanny. So that was brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And the industry itself can have those bits of negativity sort of running through them, can't they? In music, in acting, whether on screen or stage. Have you faced any of that, and how do you get past that? How do you keep your head above it all?
Most negativity I've ever experienced is online. because that's just anyway we know that people are less inclined to be horrific or nasty to somebody face to face. They're cowards.
Yeah.
So online, as where there's been negativity or things like that. So otherwise, no. Did you ask how I dealt with that? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to sound like a really boring answer, but I'm going to come back to what I said. I need it as much as I breathe. So it's like, and occasionally it's made me cry, or be like, oh God, how could they say that to me? They don't even know me.
Yeah.
But that's just it. That's the game.
Yeah.
That is the game. You play it or you don't. You've just got to be laser focused on what you want. What's your intention? And I think if your intention is always good when you're putting stuff out, you have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. If your intention is not good, you have everything to fear. I'm sounding really simple here, but it kind of is. Yeah.
No, I think that's brilliant advice. Again, if it's coming from a good place, then don't fear it. It's again about that belief, isn't it? About what you want to do. No, I think, Fanny, that's beyond simple. I think that's brilliant advice for everyone watching. Now, I want to talk a bit about your singing. Now, well, first of all, your speaking voice, I was almost stunned in a way, because actually I heard your impressions first, your characters, and I heard this character that, when you do the all right, that sort of voice, I heard that first.
Yours is better. Yours is far more humorous.
Oh, thanks, babes. So I heard that, and then I heard how you actually speak, and I was like, wait, wow, this is amazing. So I love all your different accents, and then listening to your singing voice. Oh my goodness. I mean, you do have something really special. You have a beautiful voice. You've got these really sort of deep, warm tones, almost kind of haunting sometimes. But then you sing a variety of genres as well, and a bit of rapping as well.
That was a comedy. That's not to be taken seriously.
Really? I mean, I was watching that and I was taking it seriously. I was like, this is great. I want to learn how to rap. Where did the singing start for you? Have you been trained to sing?
I did do my singing lessons at school. They were sort of extracurricular that my parents paid for. So your proper classical examinations, yes. But, I don't know. I just kind of abandoned it because then I was so focused on my acting. And I didn't want to do musical theatre or anything like that. So I don't know. And then I just continued writing songs. I feel I'm not answering the question here. I've forgotten what the question was again.
You're right. So you have answered. You said you've had your singing lessons at school, and that's where it kind of started. And I'm just so intrigued as to all the different sort of genres that you're able to adapt to. But what's your I mean, would you say that you have a particular sort of style or influence with your singing?
Well, my style it has been a recently found thing. Because my voice has changed since I was quite a sweet sounding kind of singer. And I think possibly a bit of smoking has, contributed to my lower tones.
Your huskiness, darling.
Yes, and that kind of lent itself then, because you have a different range. So jazz and that kind of style. And I'm influenced by, the Ella Fitzgeralds of the world, Nina Simone, all of that sort of thing on the jazz side of things. And it kind of lent itself, just my tones lent itself to that. But, I had big dreams of being an opera singer as well, because I could reach staggeringly high notes, and I was part of the choir and the sopranos. And I thought, this is so many dreams. So, yes, style has changed over time, for sure. I never would have said I would have done jazz prior. But yes, I enjoy doing storytelling songs, so which is why I kind of write that style, ballad storytelling. But again, like with my characters, I like doing all different genres and changing the sound of my voice. So most of my songs, there'll be a kind of different sound to it. Just in opening the mouth and sounding sweeter, or making it quite husky, you know, and changing those different ways of singing. Because I think, well, that's, most artists always stick to one defined way, don't they? And you know who that is. And I think, well, why not mix it up a bit? You know, like, oh, who's that? You know, because you can create different sounds and tones. So why wouldn't you use that? So yeah.
I agree. And that's another huge skill in itself, isn't it? So why not show that off? You know, it's incredible to be able to do that. Are you working on any music at the moment?
I don't know. I've had a bit of a lull of late. I've got about 3 or 4 songs which are 3/4 written, and I don't want to finish them, which is unusual for me. I'm just like, oh. So I've kind of left those rather than pushing it. But I mean, I've got probably about 10 songs that still need recording back at the recording studio.
Wow.
10 or 11 songs still waiting there, waiting to be done. So I'd really like to get in and get one done this year, recorded. Then get creative with my own music video again.
I loved your video. I mean, it's incredible. It's so, I can't believe that was shot on an iPhone. That's brilliant, and testament to what amazing technology we have nowadays at our fingertips. And you can make a fully fledged music video. It looks great. And I mean, if someone like me, you say you got 10 songs kind of in the background, to me, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I have written, in the past few weeks, I've written 2.5 songs, but I've only got the first verse and half a chorus. What can I do? What will actually help me to get in that mood? And, you know, for anyone who's watching who really would love to be able to write a song. I mean, we spoke earlier and you said it was about how you kind of felt at the time and it's your emotions. But, you know, what can we actually do if there's no sort of strong feeling, perhaps?
Oh, that's such a difficult one to answer. I think any creative, I'm so sorry. Alexa, stop. Sorry.
We're not talking to you, Alexa.
Alexa, stop. Thank you. So sorry. Reminded me to exercise, which I never do, and she's reminded me for a year. Right.
Oh, bless her.
Oh God. Yes, it's so difficult to advise with anything creatively, isn't it? Because creativity comes from an instinct, from a feeling, from an emotion, etc.
How does it work for you?
It's so different. You know what? Sometimes I can hear a line of something or a quote, and I think, God, wouldn't that be interesting if a song was based around that? And that, I think, I'm not sure if you've heard the song Outside In. That's the one that was recorded on my iPhone. That was done from a quote, which I quote at the beginning of that song.
Ah, okay.
About looking from the outside in, how the windows are clearer from the person looking outside. And I thought, that's an amazing idea for a song. So I didn't care how it was going to be. I just thought, this is the idea.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of came from that. But more often than not, it will come from the chorus. I work from chorus rather than
That's interesting. Or maybe I'll give that a go.
Your chorus is your mainstay, isn't it? That's what everyone's going to remember. That's the main message.
Yeah.
So everything else builds around that. It's like reverse engineering a story. The chorus is what the punchline is, and you go back to create the verses. How did it get up to that? But again, that depends on the type of, I do storytelling. And I know you mentioned you have desires to do this song in particular, don't you, about, you know, feeling good within your own body and all of that. That's a completely different genre, one that I probably wouldn't be able to write. So kudos to you. You know, a bit more brash and brazen and out there. I don't know. So, but yeah, I'd maybe work on that, get your message in the chorus and then work from that maybe.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. No, that's wonderful. And I'm being very selfish as I've got you here asking for advice for myself. But I'm hoping this is helping some of our wonderful viewers as well, which I'd like to shout out to Karen, who's giving us a lovely kiss. Thank you, Karen. Is Karen a friend or?
Yes. Very talented lady, actress, yes.
And then we have Leah giving us a love heart. Thank you. And hello to Anastasia. Thank you for joining us. Now, before we wrap up, I did just want to mention the beautiful, beautiful song and music video that you made for your daughter. Now,
no,
Ode to My Queen. It's so nice. Oh, the lyrics are beautiful.
Thank you. A very dodgy recording in lockdown, but yes, I got bored with my daughter and I thought, oh, why not? Let's write a song. She's always asking me to write a song for her, but I don't think that's what she had in mind at the time. Your baby father, I don't think that's what she would do.
Well, nevertheless, she got her song, and that was accomplished. That was done.
Yes.
What does she make about everything that you do?
I think she loves it. She possibly doesn't always understand what the hell is going on, but I think she loves it. And I see her often trying to create characters. She tries accents. I think she's doing American and Northern at the moment. She's working on, so elements of that she definitely picks up on. And she loves being in front of a camera, I've noticed.
Yeah. Okay, so definitely a mini you then in the making.
I hope not.
Oh, well, Fanny, we've had a wonderful chat. I really would love to sort of dive in even more with you, because I think you have such a creative brain. There's so much talent and lots more that we could talk about. But we have had our half an hour, so we're going to have to wrap up. But before we go, thank you so much for joining us. It's been brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Let us know how we can find you. Is it just a case of Googling your name?
Yes, I will come up. There's no other Fanni Comptons that I'm aware of as yet. So yeah, pretty lucky in that respect. And I'm on all social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and various others that I've probably forgotten about, that I've signed up to over the years and are no longer actually working. So yes, I'm all over.
Brilliant. You're so right about your name as well. It's so unique. I mean, I'm Emily. I've got the most common girl's name there is. So yeah, definitely. Just type in Fanni Compton. Yes. Google this amazing woman. She will pop up, and make sure to follow her on all of the social medias to see what's coming up next. I mean, I'm hooked. I'm going to be seeing what you're doing next and looking forward to all of the amazing things that you get up to, Fanny.
Thank you. You've been an absolute superstar. Thank you so very much for having me. Massively appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much, Fanni Compton. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
The amazing Fanni Compton there, joining us here at Integrity Magazine. Thank you to all of our amazing viewers, and thank you so much for having me. See you again soon. Bye for now.